Good morning, dears. How are you? I hope you are all fine. In this fastest world, we can't live without one thing. What is this? Yes, there is a computer. Today, we are after a long gap. We are going to see the computer. This is your Vino ma'am. I'm going to take a history of computer. Before we are enter into our lesson, we do some breathing exercise. Okay, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, dears. Everyone having a father. What's your father name? What's your father name? Yes, everyone having a father name. Okay, in this computer having also a one father. Anybody know who is the father of computer? Anybody know who is the father of computer? Yes, tell me. Yes, correct. Charles Babbage. Charles Babbage is the father of computer. Okay, shall we enter into our lesson? Yes. First, my question is, what is computer? First, my question is, what is computer? Computer is a machine which can perform many tasks. If I give more than 5 tasks at a time, can you do the task at a particular time? No, we can't do a same 5 tasks at the particular time, but the computer can perform many tasks at a time. It was originally invented to speedy and accuracy calculation. It can be used for the other purpose too. Okay, before that, what is the expansion of computer? Before that, what is the expansion of computer? Okay, you have to write it in your note and send me through the WhatsApp. The main purpose to invent the computer is, it is the basic purpose is to speed and accuracy of the calculation. We can't do the this much fast when compared with the computer, and also it can be used for the other purpose. Then it performs the many kind of work involving the arithmetic and logical operations on data. Process its per instruction or input is given and give the information as output. So it is it is involving the arithmetic and also the logical operations. Okay. Next is the first mathematics machine is abacus. The abacus was an early aid for mathematical computation. First, before the Chinese invented this abacus, how our people are counting? How our people are counting? For example, if you have more than 20 to 40 cow, if you have more than 20 to 40 cow in your home, how can you identify and how can you count this in the olden days? Yes, they are using the stones, pebbles, sticks. Then only the Chinese wrongly found the one machine, that is abacus. Then the oldest surveying abacus was used in this 300 BC by Babylonians. A skilled abacus operator can be work in the addition subtraction problem to speed of the person equipment with the hand calculator. It depends upon our speed. Using, if we want to do the mathematical calculation very speed means we can use our hand. It depends upon our hand calculator. The abacus is still used today, principally in the Far East. in the forest. Most of things nowadays in the school we having the separate classes for abacus. Am I correct? Yes. Next is Chickard calculating machine. This is the first gear driven calculating machine. This is the first gear driven calculating machine to actually built was probably to calculating the clock. It is mainly used for the clock. So the inventor name is German professor Wim Sickard in 1623. This device got little publicity because Sickard is died soon afterward in the bubonic plague. Bubonic plague. Next is Pascaline. Pascals. Anybody hear this name Pascal? Yes, there is a lot of laws using this Pascal. In 1642, Blaise Pascal at the age of 19 invented the Pascaline and aid for his father who was the tax collector. Before I am explain this topic, I tell one small general knowledge. He is a main reason nowadays we are traveling in the bus. Am I correct? He is also the one of the inventor of the bus. The next one is Pascal went on to invent the probability theory, then the hydraulic pressure and the syringe. Nowadays we are having a syringe now. He also invented. Next, he find out the dashboard of digital odometer portion of the car. Speedometer was very same mechanism as the Pascaline to increment the next wheel. Okay. Next, Leibniz stepped reckoner. Just a few years after Pascal, the German Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz managed to build the four functions. He is used to build the four functions in the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. The calculator that is called the stepped reckoner. He is called the calculator as stepped reckoner. He first advocate use of the binary numbers, which is fundamental operations of the modern computer. This is the fundamental operation of the modern computer. Next is punch records. Next one is what? Punch records. In 1801, the Frenchman Joseph Marin Jacquard invented the power loom. He has invented the power loom that could be based in the weave upon a pattern automatically read from the punched wooden cards together in the long row of the rope. See this image. This looks like a weaving. Looks like a weaving machine. Weaving machine is nothing but dress weaving, saree weaving, like that. Looks like a weaving machine, but this is the punched wooden. This is the weaving upon the pattern. This is used for the punched wooden cards. Then the punched cards have been used in this ever since. Nowadays also some of the peoples are using the punch cards. Next, Babbage inventing the difference engine. By 1822, the English mathematician Charles Babbage, he is a father of computer, was proposing a stream-driven calculating machine. The size of the room is the size of the room, which he called the difference engine. This machine would be able to compute the tables of numbers such as logarithm table. The next is the ENIAC. ENIAC is nothing but it's a very large size computer. It is the technology of vacuum tubes. It is the technology of the vacuum tubes. See this. This is the first computer. It occupy the whole room. It occupy the whole room. It was the first general purpose computer. It was the first general purpose computer. Next is UNIVAC. UNIVAC computer is made in 1951. UNIVAC computer is made in 1951. The computer was faster and smaller than the ENIAC in the Mark I computer. When compared with the ENIAC, the size of the computer will be reduced, and also the working faster. The faster working is also increased. Working faster when compared with the ENIAC, the UNIVAC is working faster. Next, we are going to see the steps to the modern computer. Now, we are going to see the steps to the modern computer. This image shows the stages of 5 stages of computer. First, second, third, fourth, 5 generations of computer. Next, this is the computer generation. In this first generation, they are using the vacuum tubes. In the first generation, they are using the vacuum tubes. In the second generation, they are using the transistor. They are using the transistor. In the third generation, they are using the IC, which is nothing but integrated circuit. In the third generation, we are using this IC, which is nothing but the integrated circuit. After that, they are replacing the IC. In the fourth generation is microprocessor. Nowadays, we are using the microprocessor computer. And the fifth generation is artificial intelligence. Anybody see the robots in this video? Where else? Yes, in this robotics, they are using the artificial intelligence. First, we see about the first generation of computer. First generation of the computer, 1940s to 1956. 1940s to 1956. The computer is built during the World War II era. World War II are known as the first generation computer. The computer is built the Second World War, which is called the first generation computer. These are considered the first computer and were extremely different from the computers we see today. It's extremely different, and they were designed for the specific task. The primitive computers relied on the vacuum tubes and the magnetic drums. In this, they are using the vacuum tubes and the magnetic drums. The first generation computers were also extremely slow because it is large in size. It occupies the room. It occupies the more spacious, and also it has no speed. That's why the computer were also extremely slow. This is the first generation of the computer. This is the image of the first generation computer. Next is second generation computers, 1956 to 1963. 1956 to 1963. The computers built in 1950s to 1960s are considered as the second generation computer. This computer make you then after replacing this the first generation vacuum tubes, they are using the transistor. Invented by the Bell Telephone Laboratories. And they had many of the same components as the modern day computer. There are many of the components as the modern day of computer. Next, the second generation computer typically had the printer, some sort of the tape and or the disk storage. Operating system store the programs as well as some sort of memory. This computer were also generally more reliable and were sold in the design. This is the second generation computer. This is the second generation computers. See this. Next is the third generation. Next one is the third generation computer. Generally much smaller in size when compared with the second and the first generation computer. And then they are replacing this integrate. They are replaced transistors and the vacuum tubes. They are using the integrated circuit and the semiconductor. The third generation computers also contain the operating system which is acted as the overseas to perform the computer and which allow the computer to run different programs at once. And in this computer can perform many tasks when compared with that two generation of computer. And another function of the operating system is to make sure everything is flowing smoothly inside the computer. The third generation computers made the transition from the transistor to the integrated circuit and from the punch card to the electronic computer system. It will be make a transition from the transistor to the integrated circuit and from the punched card to the electronic computer system. This is the third generation computer. See this, how it look like on box. It's a third generation of computer. Next, the fourth generation of computer are marked by uses the integrated circuit and microprocessor. Computers become smaller and smaller, and there is a prices become a lower and lower. Nowadays we are buying the computer anytime at anywhere in any places. Then the millions of components could be placed on the single silicon chip. In the single silicon chip, it contains the millions of components could be placed. Next, computer become more efficient and more reliable. And they could perform more and more operation. Computer become more efficient and more reliable and they could perform more and more operation. Next, they began to catch the eye of the general public and soon more sophisticated software and equipments were designed. Network became commonplace and the whole world was connected by the internet, by the www, which is nothing but World Wide Web. This is the fourth generation computer. See this. Nowadays we are using the computer. This is the fourth generation computer. The next one is fifth generation. At present and also beyond. The fifth generation computers are only in the minds of the advanced research scientists and being tested out in the laboratories. This computer will be under the artificial intelligence, which is the AI, artificial intelligence. Many of the operations which require the low human intelligence will perform by this computer. Parallel processing is coming and showing the possibility the power of many CPUs can be used side by side. Computer will be more powerful than those under central processing. advanced in the supercomputer technology will greatly improve the speed of the information traffic. It will be the very and also I tell one small example for the artificial intelligence. Anybody is seeing the robots? Yes, the robot. I tell one robot name. You go and search the robot Sophia. It will be work. This is the female robot. They are designed as the female robot. Her name is Sophia. You go and search about that girl robot. Okay, that the female robot. It will work. If you ask any question, it will be suddenly reply. Anybody see the Endiran movie? The Chitty is doing something different. Like that, the Sophia also doing this difference because it is the artificial intelligence work. This artificial what our human brain is doing, like same thing that robots will do because of this artificial intelligence. See this is the fifth generation using this artificial intelligence. Look, please see this image. It looks like our human brain. Please see this. It looks like a human brain. See this. So how our human brain works, the same thing the robot will be works. This is the fifth generation of the computer. Okay, if you have any doubt, please ask me a questions through the WhatsApp. Thank you. Thank you so much to give me a wonderful chance for after a few days. Sorry, after so much longer days, we can study the computer. Am I correct? Thank you. Thank you so much for giving this, and keep safe in your home. Don't go outside because nowadays also it will be increased. The diseases will be increased. Please keep safe. Thank you.